Hi, welcome back to the Explore YouTube channel. So in this video, we are going to begin with array lists in Java. And in the previous videos, we have covered arrays and linked list. Now, how is array list different from basically a linked list and maybe an array? We are going to discuss in this video itself, and we are going to go over a little introduction about what an array list is and how it's manipulated internally. So let's begin. Now, array list, when I am going to explain array list, you might be wondering, okay, hey, this is kind of closer to linked list. Yeah, it is, but there's a huge difference. Now, when I'm talking about array lists, so let's say I am declaring an array list named AL, right? I'm declaring an array list named AL, array list. So if I declare the array list without specifying any size, what do I mean by that? I mean this, right? So I am saying that, okay, if I declare an array list of size 8, then it's going to be created of size 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, right? It's definitely going to be created of size 8 because I'm declaring it, right? But what if I don't declare any size here? Then will it be empty? No, the array list will be declared of size probably 10. So this will go on until 10. So the size will be 10. It's really important to know this with respect to interviews as well. Talk about linked list, right? Talk about linked list or talk about arrays. In them, if I don't declare any size, right, both of them will be of size 0. But there's a huge difference in array list. If you don't declare the size, automatically internally it will say, hey, I am going to be created of size 10. But again, when I'm getting created of size 10, all of these places are empty, right? These are empty. These are empty. They are not yet filled. Correct? Okay. Makes sense. Now, what about arrays? Let's just quickly go over the overview of it. So when I'm looking at arrays, right? And I'm saying, let's say the array is of length 4, right? The array is of length 4. So what if I want to add an element to an array? Then the process is as follows. I will create an array of length 5, right? I will do that. And let's say the elements here were 1, 2, 3, 4, and I wanted to add an element 5. So I created a new array here, which is of length 5, and then I copy these elements 1, 2, 3, 4, and then my new element 5 will be present here. Yes, this is how the process is in case of arrays. Okay, what about linked lists? Linked lists. So in this case, let's say I had nodes 1, 2, 3, and then 4, right? Now, let's say I want to add an element 5. Then it's very simple. I don't even need to create a new linked list. Like I created a new array. I can just simply have 5 at the end of the day. It's kind of easy, right? But notice carefully. In case of arrays, right? You're doing a lot of operations. You are actually creating an entire new array and allocating an extra memory space for the next element. In linked lists, it's kind of easier side with respect to arrays. What you're doing is you are just simply allocating space for the new element and adding that new element. That's it, right? Allocating the space for the new element and adding that new element to the end of the list, right? That's it. But what about array lists? How do they manipulate? Now let's say my array list is of size 4. Okay, initially is of size 4 with the values, let's say 1, 2, 3, and 4. Sweet enough, right? Now let's say I want to add an element which is 5. What will happen here? Very important. Please notice this. If the program sees that, hey, I want to add an element 5 and there is no space here, then it will automatically, yes, I don't need to do that. It will automatically, I will use the term here, automatically, or many people like to use dynamically. Yes, you can use this in an interview. Dynamically alter or change, or you can say increase the size of array list by how much. So it will increase the size of array list. So I can say increase in size will be 50% of the original size. So right now the array list will dynamically become, it will be of size or length 6. Why so? Because initially it was 4. Then to that I will add 50% of the original size, which was 4, right? So 50% of 4 is what? 50% of 4 is going to be 4 plus 2, which is 6. So this is going to be of length 6. Quite sweet enough, right? And it's really cool to know this. So we will be having 1, 2, 3, 4. Excuse me. And then 5 will automatically come here. No. Notice one thing. What if I want to say, hey, I want to add 6? So it will go here and check that, hey, is there any space left for me to place 6? Yes, it is there. So I'll just simply place it. Right now, it won't simply increase the size by 50% of its original size. It only increases the size when it sees there is no space. But if there's space, it will allocate that particular element, in this case 6, to the end of the array list or list, as you may say, right? So I hope this is kind of useful. So let's talk about a use case where we can use this array list now, and how also it's when to use, by the way, array lists and linked list, right? So the main difference or the main point here is, which you can point out in an interview, is that you can use an array list when most of the operations, yes, when most of the operations you are going to perform, right? So most of the operations are basically storing the value and accessing, or one may say retrieving the values, right? If I want to store the values, most of the operations is, hey, please store this value, and access that value, retrieve that value. Access and retrieve kind of interchangeably means the same. Okay, don't be worried about that. Okay, so both of them are same. So this is where I will be using array list. Now, when will I be able to use linked lists? When will I be able to use linked list? I don't need to have the array here. So what I'm writing is LL, which is linked list. So don't be confused with that. When will I be using linked list? Well, I can use linked list when most of the operations, yes, when most of the operations are focused on manipulating the data. Manipulating means, hey, you want to add, not really add, yeah, you can have the add functionality, but let's say add in the middle, right? Let's say you want to add in the middle. Yeah, linked list is a very great thing. Then let's say you want to remove, right? Remove, let's say, from the middle, and then so on, right? So I hope you get my entire point, right? Because even like adding in the adding at the end is kind of okayish, because array lists are also kind of efficient for that. But hey, if I want to add in the middle, or if I want to remove from the middle, linked list is something which I am looking forward to. So I hope you get the point when I will be able to use both of them, right? Okay, so I hope this kind of gives you an overview of what array list is. So if you found the explanation helpful, please make sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel as well. We'll meet in the very next video. Thank you.